Today. My favorite mantra. This is my favorite mantra in the world. This too shall pass. When you really break it down, realize that everything happens in the now. What's in the past no longer exists in the now unless you bring it into your mind. But in reality, it's gone. So when we look at our life and we look at everything that's happened, it's in the past. Everything passes. I know when I had my hip replacement, it passed. I know when I had a hernia, it passed. I know when I had COVID, it passed. I know when I got married, it passed. I know when I had my anniversary, it passed. I know when my sons were born, it passed. It doesn't matter whether it's good, bad, indifferent, everything passes because the only reality is now. Everything else is an illusion that we create in our mind. It's a virtual reality. And so when you start to really contemplate and you grasp the idea that everything is a virtual reality, you realize you're the creator. And you can choose to live in the now. You can choose to live in the future. You can choose to live in the past. But the only reality is there's now. All pain, all depression, all anxiety come from us trying to live in the past, which is unreal, and to try to live in the future, which is unreal. So depression and anxiety are all caused by unrealistic expectations that our past should have been different or our future should be a specific way. But in reality, we've let go of those expectations. We live in the now. We take steps forward into a greater and greater and greater expression of love. We're in the now. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. It's just everything is a circle of life. You've got the past, you've got the now, you've got the future, and the reality is now. So why do we hold on? Why do we hold on to the past? Well, some of the best ideas I've got on that are, number one, we're scared of the unknown. And every new expansion comes from the unknown. And in the now, we're not worried about the future, are we? So the only thing that we are concerned with when we take a new step in a new direction is the step we're taking now. We're not looking at the consequence down the road. We're not forecasting it. We're not worrying about it. We're in the now. If something happens and it doesn't work for us, we're in the now. We change what we do now. We're always at choice. We have infinite do-overs. I love that term. We have infinite do-overs. In every moment, we can make a new choice. We can start down a whole new path of thinking, of feeling, of acting. And the only time we have that power to do that, it's in the now. Think about this. In the now, you can rewrite your past. That's right. You can see your past totally different by making a decision now to rewrite your story. I know I did that. My brother and I were raised exactly the same by the same mom and dad, same city, everything. Granted, there was a couple years apart, but the fact of the matter is, I rewrote my childhood. I rewrote the stories I told about my mom and dad. My brother didn't. And so he carried with him all of that baggage throughout his life. Through all 60-some years of his life while he was alive. I remember my childhood now as an ideal childhood. I was challenged and supported, and I tend to just remember that I was raised well. Why? Because it's in the past. I'm living in the now. I don't have to bring my childhood experiences into the now, but so many people are. They're bringing their mommy issues. They're bringing their daddy issues into the now. Then they're throwing those issues on their partners. They're throwing those issues on their children. They're throwing those issues on your friends. They're throwing those issues everywhere. And yet the reality comes back to there's only now. So what does that mean? Just look at it. This too shall pass. Well, this happened to me. Yeah, that's in the past. What do you say about now? Have you set boundaries? Have you set boundaries up for your own thought process? Have you set boundaries up with the people in your life, how much you will allow them to affect you to be in your life? True self love is setting boundaries. True self love is in the now. It can't be any other place because nothing else exists. The reality is now. This too shall pass. Do you remember having the best ice cream cone ever? For me, it's always been about a vanilla soft serve, like a Dairy Queen. I just remember that when I got into that, oh my God, it was absolutely delicious. That was in the past. I don't eat DQs now. Why? Too much sugar. But did you notice as I was describing it, I was having the experience of it now? I didn't even need the DQ. I didn't even need the cone or the ice cream or the soft serve, whatever you want to call it. I just needed to create the feeling of it in my mind, and I had the experience. Because now is all there is. I chose to take what I felt there, bring it into the now without eating it, without doing the sugar. It's fascinating what the mind can do. It's the most powerful tool. Once you understand that you are aware, once you understand with that awareness that you can think, and once you understand that your thoughts create your reality, you're powerful. And then you start living in a now, because to live any other place, it's an illusion. With that, my beautiful ones, my message for the day is complete. No matter what happens to you today, remember, this too shall pass. Much love. Aloha.